Hello and welcome back to the Now We Know show, Geocaching Trails, the show where we go on an adventure to explore the world of geocaching. If you find any of the caches we search for in this episode, we would love to know. Get in contact with the Zak Wylde Productions team in the comments, on social media, or email info@zakwyldeproductions.com. If you enjoy the Now We Know show podcast, why not support Zak Wylde Productions on our Patreon page? Become an official ZWP patron for as little as £1 a month for exclusive early access to all our latest episodes, videos, behind the scenes, updates and more. Okay, so we're back and we are geocaching, and today we are doing a trail of geocaches in between Arlesey Station and Vine Farm. So Buzz, can you tell me what our first geocache is we're looking for today?
Okay, well, I'm looking on the Geocache app, and the Geocache app says this is called Sidetracked. Sidetracked is our first one, starting at Arlesey train station. So shall we navigate our way to it?
Okay.
Okay, well, we're starting off with, don't know if you can hear the traffic going overhead. We're actually under the flyover bridge at Arlesey station. So here we go, let's navigate.
Yes.
I've pushed the button. Let's go geocaching.
So how far are we away?
Right, well, currently it says we're 30 metres.
30 metres, okay. So we're heading along the pathway, away from the train station.
It's counting down, 23 now.
Oh, 23, okay. We're heading in the right direction.
I don't know what type of cache this is at the moment.
Oh, I think it's a micro.
Okay. 12 metres.
12 metres, okay. Have a look at the app to see if there's... Oh, there's a plane coming over right now.
I think we've got to go down this alleyway.
Okay, there is an alleyway, lots of trees, lots of overgrowth. Okay.
5 metres.
5? Okay. 3.
2 metres, 1 metre. Oh, it's got to be here somewhere.
Okay.
Right, so let's go back. Okay, so...
Does it say anything in the description?
It says this cache belongs to the Sidetracked series. It is not designed to take you to a magical place with a breathtaking view. It is a distraction for the weary traveller, but anyone else can go and find it too. More information can be found on the Sidetracked series website. So that's that. It says... Okay, well, I'm just looking at it. It's a 2.5 difficulty, a 1.5 terrain, and it says micro.
Okay, so we are currently...
It's magnetic, by the way.
Magnetic, okay. There's a lot of metalwork around us. We are currently on a cycle path, so I suggest that we look for a magnetic micro.
Well, look, we've got 2 metal fences and what looks like a metal lamppost as well. And we're on top of it, it would seem.
Okay, so let's spread out and see if we can find it. Well, we've been searching for Sidetracked Arlesey for the last 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, no luck at all. It has to be said, that we've got metal railings where it's meant to be. I mean, we're basically on top of where the Geocache app tells us it is. It's meant to be magnetic, and we've got metal railings both sides of the path, but, and this is the but, all the railings are absolutely saturated with blackberry brambles. However, it looks like Network Rail have come in and have hacked most of it down and cleared it all along
where the geocache is supposed to be.
So, you know, it's been so cleared, it may well be that they've just literally knocked it off.
And I think that is the case, because we have had a really good search around.
You know, everywhere it could be magnetised to, every nook and cranny, but I honestly think that pulling all the brambles out of the hedgerow, out of these fences, and strimming it all back like this, it's probably gone flying.
Yes. I think, unfortunately, listeners, this is going to be a DNF.
DNF.
Did not find.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Shall we move on to the next one then?
Yeah, so far, first cache is a no-no, so let's move on to the second cache.
7 more to go.
Let's go caching! Okay, right, so this one's called the Kingfisher Way 11. Sorry for the road traffic noise because we're right on the edge of the A507. And we are 13 metres away from it, supposedly.
Okay, so we're close. We're close.
Going to try and sound less nerdy about this one.
Okay.
Let's go caching! But it's good fun. It's good fun.
So it's micro-sized.
I don't know. I haven't looked. Yep, it's a micro.
Difficulty?
Well, I've just it says out doing some tidying up. Notice some of the nearby caches have gone. Oh right, so somebody else has found some caches have gone. Maybe that could be a reference to the one we previously tried to find.
Mm-hmm.
So they've started a safe link across this busy road. Blah 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 blah. Right. So there is an underpass. That's the one we used to get here. It says, "Do not cross the fast road," and it's hidden in a bison tube.
Ah, okay.
Ooh, look, it says BYOP.
Bring own pen.
Bring your own pen.
Oh, okay.
Or pencil. We're getting to know this now.
Oh, yes.
Right. So, it's a big truck cover. 11 metres.
Okay. Searching.
10 metres.
That's
9 metres.
That's the thing we've...
8 metres.
Oh, okay.
7 metres. 8 metres, all right.
Could it be in those trees?
9 metres.
We're looking around.
8 metres. Oh, it's directed us towards the edge of the road.
Oh, okay.
6 metres. 5, 4, 3,
Hang on.
2.
Aha, I see it. It's up there.
Aha. Okay, we're not going to give away exactly where it is, but we seem to have found it. Okay.
Yes. Okay.
Shall I retrieve it?
Yep, retrieve the bison tube.
It has been retrieved.
Okay.
I am going to open this up.
We've had a rather mixed deal when it comes to micro caches, haven't we?
Yeah, some have been bigger than I expected a micro to be, and this one, I think when we first did, for anybody who listened to our first outing doing geocaching, this was the same size as the first one we found.
Yes.
But this was down as a nano,
Mm.
and as I discovered on that, a nano is smaller than a micro, but this is certainly nano size. But there's no way I can get in this tube, Zach.
Okay. All right.
So we'll have to figure out doing the log. We can log it on the app.
Yes.
Right, but we found it. So first find on this one.
Okay, let's move on to cache number 3.
I'm not going to say it. Oh, all right, I'll say it. Let's go caching. No, that sounds silly.
Okay, so we're back.
And this time we are looking for the Kingfisher Way number 10. It's a difficulty 2, terrain 1.5, and it's a small size.
Okay, so this should be bigger than a micro.
Oh yeah, I would expect something like a small clip box or something.
Okay.
It's been great. Actually, moving from the cache that we just found, moving to this one, although we are next to a very noisy road, I must say I'm enjoying it because I keep stopping and eating all the cob nuts. We found a big stash of cob nuts, and we are absolutely festooned around us with sloe. If anybody want to make sloe gin, and then they'll be in the right place to make sloe gin. But
Okay.
let's go and find this cache, shall we?
How far away are we?
Well, let's navigate. Okay, sorry about the sloe gin and the cob nuts. It's the bushcrafter coming out of me. Well, I've just pushed the app, and the app tells us that we are 5,785.2 kilometres away from it.
I think we may have miscalculated.
Let's try that again.
Oh, there we go.
Now it's saying we're 21 metres.
Okay, I think we're a little closer.
I think the app must have glitched out. But then again, this is one of these learning curves of using geocaching things. It's all
Okay.
new. Right, 20 metres.
So we're going forwards down the path. We are... Sorry, how far?
16, we're heading in the right direction.
Okay, right direction. Okay.
It looks like we're going away from the road now.
Okay, we are heading away from the noisy road.
11 metres.
11, okay.
8
Well-
metres.
We must be right on top of it.
7, 6. 6. 6. 6. I'm still holding it at 6.
Have we gone
8.
past it?
The 8, yeah, we seem to have gone past it. I think it might be back near that post.
Okay. A small geocache.
Okay, well look, the overhead map is showing it to be here on the corner of the path we're on.
But to be honest, the navigation could be off. Oh, okay. There seems to be a large tyre.
Yeah, discarded tyre, overgrown tyre. I don't know. Let's try around the other side of this hedge.
Okay. We're heading back onto the pathway from the undergrowth.
Yeah, I mean, this is really something that we've discovered when it comes to...
Okay, so I've just moved a rock, which is near the signpost, and there's no luck there.
What?
Oh, hang on!
Oh,
It is the rock!
you found it. Oh, no wonder we haven't seen it.
Oh, wow!
It's one of those... Oh, that is a good one.
That is absolutely fantastic. I literally picked it up with my own hand, thinking it was a rock, to look underneath.
To look underneath, and it is.
And it
underneath
was.
It says it's... Right, okay.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Right, so well, let's open this up then. It's rattling. Ah, this is brilliant. Okay. Oh, I see. It's got one of these little mini aluminium bison tubes inside. Okay, let's undo this.
That is fantastic.
And oh yeah, the log. That's quite handy. Now this is interesting because the last one said it was a micro,
Yeah,
but it was the same size as a nano that we found.
okay.
This one says it's a small, but it's basically I'd say a micro in the bison tube is a micro,
Yeah,
but it's inside a rock,
which is a small one.
which is a small. So I suppose overall, if you're going to look at it as the rock, then it's a small. Otherwise, it's a micro in a small. And what I like about this is the logbook in the nano tube was stuck right down in the tube.
Mm,
And thankfully, we brought a tool with us so we could extract the logbook.
yeah.
This one, somebody has nicely put the log is stuck into the cap. So when you remove the cap, it pulls the log out of the tube rather than it being stuck in the tube.
Ah, so nice easy access then.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm unrolling that now.
Is there any room on the log?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Looks like there's one full roll. And this was last found on the 30th of the 7th. There you go. Right, so let's we can fill in this log and
We're going to log that,
go from there then.
and we can move on to the next one.
Excellent, great find. Love this one. This is great.
And that was the Kingfisher Way 10.
10, yeah. Okay. So we're doing the Kingfisher Way number 9. So we seem to be doing the geocaches kind of in reverse, which doesn't really matter, I suppose.
I seem to remember from our previous adventure that we missed out Kingfisher Way number 1. So I'd be interested to see if we pick up Kingfisher Way number 1 somewhere on this trail.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. But anyway, coming down the path heading towards this has been, the topography has changed quite a lot. I used to walk my dogs here years ago.
Oh, there's a rabbit over there.
And yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. The fields used to be very open plan, and yeah, we've just walked through kind of like on a tunnel of trees, haven't we?
Yes, very much so.
You know, there's been ash trees and hawthorns and some real nice hazel trees as well. And coming through this kind of tunnel, what popped out in front of us?
A fox.
Yes, really, really beautiful red fox. Just came out in front of us in the tunnel and then trotted along in front of us on the way to this next cache, and then it's just disappeared off. So anyway, back on with our caching. Let's start the final bit of the navigation.
First of all, what's the difficulty on this one?
That's a good point, Zach. I always forget these things. This is the learning curve of geocaching, okay? So looking at the difficulty, it's a difficulty 2, terrain 1.5, and it's another micro. The maps you put us in America again. I don't know why it's doing that. That's better. 17 metres away.
17 metres away. We've got fields on either side of us. So let's go.
Yep.
We're heading down the path.
13 metres.
13 metres away, okay. Eyes peeled.
8, 7, 6.
Oh wow, it really must be close. Hang on. I think I may have spotted it.
Okay, yeah, I've gone to 5 metres, so we've gone past it.
Thankfully, we've decided to wear trousers this time.
Well, I always wear trousers.
I have only spotted this
Oh, yeah.
due to a bright red cap.
Okay, I'll better go and retrieve it.
Okay, so Buzz is going to retrieve this cache.
Not only am I wearing trousers, which are anti-bramble and anti-nettle, but I also have my trusty walking stick with me, which helps me to move them out the way.
Okay.
So I'm just beating my way through.
Careful. Mind your step. Mind your step.
There's some old wood here. The brambles are like tripwires.
Now, I was actually surprised by how easy that was to spot. Initially, I thought that it would possibly be some kind of rubbish left in the tree.
Right, this one's actually, I've got to reach for it. It's actually cable tied to the tree.
Also, it's cable tied to the tree.
Yeah, so I've taken the logbook, which is in a plastic bag, out of it, leaving the container attached to the tree.
Okay.
Right, so let's put the cap in my pocket. Oh, it's one of those nice little logbooks. Yeah, so this one you can't actually get the container itself. Okay, let's flick through this, see when it was last found. Do you know, it's Misty May again.
Oh, okay.
Good old Misty May. It's popped up. I wonder who Misty May is. That's on it's the 6th, so I think it says 14th of the 6th.
Okay.
Right, so let's fill in the logbook on this one, pop it back in its container and head off to the next cache.
Yes, sounds like a great idea. Okay, so we're back.
And this one is, funny enough, the Kingfisher Way number 8. Now this will be our 5th one.
Yes, we are halfway through our geocaching trail of today.
Okay, so we've basically found 3 out of 4 so far.
3 out of 4 so far.
I think the first one, to be honest, is long gone.
Yes.
I don't think it was a case of we couldn't find it. I just don't think it was there.
The thing is, it hasn't been found in a while either, so that does show the telltale signs that it is missing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Do people who place the caches, do they get like a notification if it hasn't been found?
Well, that was the thing, because the other day, I think it was another Sidetracked series one that I had trouble finding, and I got a message from the individual who had actually placed that.
Right. And they said... Yeah.
They said it should be there,
Okay.
so I should go back and have a look, because that was also found the day that I searched for it.
Right, so in that case, that probably was there. And
Yes,
you didn't find
I just couldn't find it.
Right, so okay, so that's good. There's kind of like a system that people who have left the caches do find out that they get a notification if it's not found.
Yeah, if it needs maintenance.
Anyway, so here we are on the Kingfisher Way number 8, and we are 14 metres away.
14 metres away, okay.
So let's head on off. Now let's look at the specs while we're walking.
Okay.
This is a difficulty 2, a terrain 1.5, and it's another small.
Small, okay.
So it doesn't say micro on the thing. It's 5 metres.
Why am I thinking... There's a manhole cover over here. Could it possibly... Hang on. Hang on. Right, okay. I think I may have spotted it.
That's a cheeky one.
That was very cleverly hidden.
Yep, okay, let's just come off the navigation.
You definitely need eagle eyes to spot this one.
Okay, coming off the navigation. Yeah, so the navigation said we were about 4 metres when you spotted it. I think that's mainly probably because what you spotted wouldn't be obvious to the naked eye of most people.
Yes.
Which means we're starting to gain a kind of is there such a thing as a spotter's eye?
An extra geocache sensory perception.
Right, anyway, this is another bison tube. It's not magnetic. I'm not going to tell you exactly how it's hidden or where it's hidden.
It was, what I will say is it was rather precariously hidden, with a danger of becoming lost.
Completely lost, yeah. That actually, you're right. Yeah, that is a dodgy one. So anyway, I'm just looking at the log on it, and... Oh,
there's a pheasant in the field opposite us.
Yeah, if anybody picks it up on our recording, but that is a pheasant, most definitely.
Yeah, so we're a little bit off the beaten track at the moment.
Right, so this was last found on the 26th of the 8th, I believe. No, it can't be, because that's
in the future.
That's in the future.
Oh dear.
Somebody No, it must be 6. I mean, it mistakenly looked a bit like an 8, but there you go.
Yeah.
So, future person who found it, well done. So, anyway, we're going to fill in the log, pop the geocache back, and then we'll be heading off for our next one.
Yes.
This is turning out, we're halfway through, it's turning out to be a good adventure.
See what adventurous things we find on the next cache.
Well, we have had quite a nice little mix of the way they have been hidden so far. So it'll be interesting to see.
Very varied.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting if they continue to be varied.
Oh, that'd be very exciting to find out.
Let's go. So we've moved on down the path and we're heading towards the Kingfisher Way number 7. And this one is a difficulty 1.5. So
Okay.
we've gone down by 0.5.
That's interesting because looking around where we are right now, please excuse the plane, but it doesn't seem as obvious as the other ones.
Well, there's a lot of vegetation. We're 20 metres, I think, away from it at the moment. And the terrain, it says 2, and it's another micro. But I say I've enjoyed the walk in. I mean, behind us, the sun is setting behind us. And as we walked down this trail, we had 5 roe deer, which were kind of tracking along in the field next to us at a distance, but it was lovely to see.
Yeah,
the
that
deer.
was rather magical to see because that's nothing that you'd see every day.
No, and we haven't come across anybody else on the trail. I kind of expected some dog walkers out and about, so it's been really, really pleasant. And I think that's emphasised in geocaching. I mean, we're both hikers, aren't we, Zak?
Yes.
And we love hiking, and so we do find ourselves out in the wilds quite often. But for somebody that maybe doesn't do it so much, this is actually getting you out into the countryside.
Very much so.
And not only are you benefiting from the fun and excitement of doing the geocaching, but you're getting to see the stuff that otherwise, sitting at home, you just wouldn't see.
Yeah, or you'd literally just drive past in a car.
Yeah, and you wouldn't even notice it. So anyway, we'll kind of get off track a little bit there, but we need to discuss these things because I think that it's a valid part of geocaching is the whole experience. That's what I'm discovering anyway. So we're 7. All right, we're now it's recalibrated down to 7 meters.
Okay.
Although I will say the geocaching app is showing us to be in the middle of the River Hiss at the moment.
Oh dear.
Which we're not, thankfully. Otherwise it'd be rather wet. So anyway, we're heading towards it. And it's hanging in there at 11 meters at the moment.
11, okay. So have we gone past it?
6 meters. 4, 2. We really must be on top of it.
It must be in this hedgerow somewhere.
Well, what we've got in front of us is a slow bush. Now, I will warn you. Oh, hang on a minute. It's calibrated to 5 meters. It could be on the end of the slow bush.
Okay, we're going round the end of the slow bush.
We're getting away from it now.
Oh, okay.
So it's got to be in this slow bush somewhere. But what I will warn you is slow bushes are notorious for having spines.
Okay. Gloves and long sleeves are probably advised here.
So I've just noticed, this is something we haven't discussed on the app. It tells you the meters, then underneath it is in brackets, it says plus stroke minus 4 meters.
Yeah.
So is that kind of a margin?
Yes, I would believe that's basically a margin.
Right. Now it's jumped to 10 meters, but behind us.
Right. Okay.
So this one, I think we're going to just have to probably come off the recording for a moment and have a good search around.
We do seem to be heading towards some bigger trees.
It's now down to 6 meters. So it's jumped about a little bit, 5 meters.
Are there any discernible traits on the description?
Okay, we've got to be on top of it. So let's head back in the app for those people that might not be familiar that much and you're listening to geocaching with us for the first time. Oh my goodness me. This is a massive description. I'm not even going to go through this because this is a huge description. So what we're going to do is go to the hint and it just says eye level. So going back to the navigation, we're 2 meters about. We've got to be on top of it. It's eye level. It's got to be in the bush somewhere. So shall we have a good route around for it and come back?
Yes, I think we'll cut the recording for now and hopefully when we find it, we'll come back.
Right, now it actually didn't take us too long. The hint was eye level. Well, that's...
Well, I'm 5'10".
And I'm 5'10" as well.
Yeah.
And so I suppose when you talk about eye level, you think of your own eye level, but actually this is more eye level of a 5-year-old.
Yeah, it's quite kind of a medium height in relation to the bush.
Now, the bush where we are, it is literally the same for 100 yards almost in both directions. And so what we just did was actually just look at the grass rather than look at the bush. And you can't rummage through a bush like this because you're going to get scuffed by the thorns. So we just looked at where there was a little bit of disturbance on the grass, and found it pretty quick by doing that. Which is what I did on the last cache. In fact, not the last cache, the cache before that is exactly the same type of tube.
Yes.
And that was the one where we were rummaging in the brambles. And I just managed to reach it because it's cable tied to a tree. Yeah. What I did is when I came out of that one, because I carry a walking stick, I then pulled all the vegetation that had been squashed down, so it didn't look like anybody had been in there.
Yeah, because that does kind of partially give it away almost.
It does, and I'm going to do that with this. I'm going to pull up the grass and make it look like there's no pressure on the grass at all. But anyway, we have found it, so let's open it up.
Is it cable tied again?
Cable tied to the bush, and as I've got my arm in the bush, I can guarantee that I'm already getting spiked a bit.
Okay, be careful.
There are some big thorns. Ow!
Well, I would gladly offer my services to get it out of the bush, but unfortunately I'm recording this.
So it's basically exactly the same as the one I was speaking about in the bramble bushes that was cable tied to the other tree. Same type of logbook in a plastic bag. And one thing that I've noticed with these logbooks, these little tiny ones, is that people keep filling them in on... Oh, actually somebody has filled it on the opposite page. They kind of open it, fill it in on the right-hand page.
Yeah.
But you've also got the opportunity to fill it on the left-hand page. But everybody keeps filling it on the right-hand page and then turn it over, going to the next page, and half of it isn't filled in, you know. But anyway, people have been a bit more studious on this one and filled more of it in. So this was found on the 30th of the 7th.
Okay.
I'm not sure. What would you reckon that is?
Is that
no, it's Misty again, isn't it?
Yeah,
Misty.
Yeah, Misty.
Good old Misty. Maybe we'll bump into Misty one day. Misty, if you listen to this podcast, get in touch with the Now We Know show. We'd love to know who Misty May is. Right, I'm going to fill the logbook in and we'll pop it back in its container.
So that was cache number 6.
Yeah.
We have 2 more caches to go. We have only not found one, which was the first cache. So 2 more to go. And hopefully we'll get 7 out of 8. That may be a bit ambitious, but we'll see. Okay, and we're back.
And we're at our second from last cache, I believe.
Yep.
And this is the Kingfisher Way number 6. It's a difficulty level 2, terrain 1.5, and another small. So let's navigate. We are 15 metres away, it would seem. Okay,
so this is our 7th cache in this current trail. So we're 1 more cache after this.
But we've still got these ones. 13, it's going down. Although now we've got this kind of 5 metre, all gone up to 8. Right, so something's telling us we've got a really big osier willow tree right in front of us. And that's where it seems to be pointing to, 4 metres away. Okay, so we're walking over towards the tree. And it says 3 metres, so it's got to be around here now.
There's a lot of crevices and cracks in this tree where a geocache could be.
Well, I think we need to go for coming off recording and do our little search.
Yes, it is a little bit overgrown currently.
Yeah, there's a quite steep bank. It's 2 metres, it says. We've got it with a -4 metre difference, it says. Okay, so we're pretty much dead on with it. Yeah. Okay, let's have a search and come back in a second. Okay, after some searching, we have found the cache. Yeah, however, there's a bit of a twist to this one. We had to go. We're not going to tell you where it was, but we had to go to the hint to look for it, and then we had a good search around and we found it. Now, initially, I spied what I thought was the cache because it's a cache container. It's kind of like a 35mm case, yeah, and it's empty. There's nothing in it. So I assumed, okay, somebody's been in it and they've taken
The log.
Logbook.
Yeah.
However, I then just had a little bit more of a dig into where we
Discovered
found this one.
Yeah.
And there's like a plastic container without a lid, rectangular one, see-through, very similar to like I don't know what would you call it, like an oversized Tic Tacs.
Yes,
box, yeah?
That's exactly what I would describe it
That
as.
has got a plastic bag in it. One of those Ziploc bags with a logbook. So if I hadn't gone that little further, that little extra to look for it, I would have literally found this first one and thought,
the log's gone.
But anyway, it's dry. And let's see, it's a big logbook paper. Oh, good old Misty May again. She gets some out of it, old Misty May. Misty May. Is there any way, right, while I dig out a pen to fill in the logbook, Zak, can you tell me, because you've been looking into it a little bit more, is there any way of kind of contacting on the app?
Yes,
people?
I believe you can message people on the geocaching app.
Okay, how's that
And
work?
when you do that, I think you have to go to the activity section of each geocache. You can then discover who last found it. So in this case, it would be Misty May. And from doing that...
What, do you just click on their name or something?
Yes, and that'll take you to their profile, and that'll tell you how many hides and how many they've actually found.
Right, and then
It won't tell you which ones, but it will tell you the number that they have accumulated over the time that they've been using the app.
Okay, and what, is there a way that then when you've gone to their profile that you can actually contact them?
I believe there is a messaging feature.
So obviously you've got to look at, I mean, in all things these days when it comes to social media and such, like, you get some weirdos, but so I'm assuming it's kind of, like when you're on Instagram or Facebook, somebody you don't know sends you a message, you can kind of filter it.
Yes.
Is that a thing?
Well, that was the thing. I haven't had much experience with the messaging features on the app for the geocaching, but again, I think I mentioned it earlier, I was actually contacted when I had trouble finding a cache.
Oh yeah, you did mention that.
So that was obviously a person who had hidden the cache.
Yep.
And they got in contact saying it should really be there.
Right, so as you said earlier, because you couldn't find it, they picked up your post and then they contacted you. So, okay. But maybe.
I do believe that there is the feature to have friends, so you can have a geocaching kind of friends list.
Right, well, we'll have to discover about this. Maybe we can come back on the next geocaching podcast and explore that a little bit more.
So have you logged that one?
I've logged it, and I'm going to go and put it back where I found it.
Don't fall down.
No, I'm going to put this 35. The rectangular case has got no lid.
Yeah, I think it needs a maintenance, this one.
Yeah, and the 35mm style. It's not a film tube. It's like a white pill packet. I've just stuffed it in there as well. So whoever finds it isn't going to get
mixed up,
find one and go, oh, it's missing, and walk off. Now it'll be easier for people to find the log.
Okay. Please don't fall into the river.
I won't.
Okay, so we'll pick up on our last geocache. So we are at the location of our last geocache.
Well, Zak, I wouldn't say we're at the location. We're about 20 metres away from the location.
Oh, okay.
But this one is, we've now switching the names because now we've come onto the Langford number 10 concrete.
Okay.
And this is a difficulty 2, terrain 2.5.
Okay.
So it's gone up a little bit. And it's a small. So
Okay.
I'm hitting the navigate.
We're near Vine Farm, the end of our geocaching trail. We have come to kind of like a crossroad, would you say?
Yeah, and we're just heading across it. We're 16 metres away with a -5 metre discrepancy down to 12 metres, 10 metres, 9, 8.
Okay, we're almost heading off into
7,
a field now.
6, 5. Well, this is telling us that we are in a field, so I don't believe we can be in the field.
Right.
So we'll actually, I say it's a 5 metre discrepancy. So if we go, maybe have a look at the.
Well, if we're looking at a 5 metres like around us, it's mostly field and some bushes.
Yeah.
But I can't really see anything
Okay.
Do we know the size of the cache?
It's just a small.
Small.
Again, I think for our last cache, we're just going to have to hit the pause button and have a root around for it.
Yeah, this one does seem a little cryptic.
Right, well, unfortunately, we had to end up going for the hint, which told us, I'm not going to say what the hint was, but it told us about posts that it was behind. Couldn't see any posts.
Yeah, unfortunately, they seem to have vanished.
And then we looked at when it was last logged, which was 4 months ago, and even then it said the post seems to have vanished, and it took some time to find exactly where it was. However, 4 months further on, where we are now, there's been a lot of construction work.
Yeah, it looks like there's been a lot of heavy traffic through this kind of crossroad section.
Farm vehicles have ploughed the place up. Farm vehicles have scooped out the ditch alongside the path. Any remnants of any kind of cache that was in the hint, and there doesn't seem to be any evidence of where that place was.
I think we're just going to have to call it a did not find.
Yeah, I'm going to put it down as did not find, and perhaps whoever placed the cache can come back and put another one. So.
Oh well.
So last cache, unfortunately, has been gobbled up by a tractor.
So for today's trail, the first cache we didn't find, and the last cache we didn't find. But the rest of them, the filling of the cache trail, we found all of them. Yeah.
To summarise, I mean, it's been a good one. It's been a good one. I've enjoyed every part of it. I have liked the micro caches, the smalls. I kind of feel that people should really fluff up the undergrowth after they found one.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of a bit obvious if somebody's trampled stuff down in a certain place. It's like immediately, right, there is where the cache is. Could be helpful, obviously, for some people, but kind of takes a little bit of the guesswork out of it. The one thing it's not that I didn't like about this particular trail, but if you were doing it with a child, there's been no click boxes. They've all turned out to be micros.
Yeah, no real treasure.
No treasure for the kids to find, swap out stuff. To be fair, I suppose apart from maybe those smalls with the red lids, you might get a travel bug or something in one of those.
Something possibly.
But the rest of them have been so small, it's
literally just the log.
It's just the logbook, which is fine. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good walk. We've really enjoyed it. But I think if you were taking the kids with you, I don't know if those would have that's enough to keep them entertained.
I must say that my favourite cache of this particular trail was the rock.
Yeah, I was the rock because the rock was just, as you say, you picked it up thinking it was a rock. You just picked it up to look under it.
Yeah.
Discarded the fact that there was nothing underneath it. Went to put it back and then realised that you actually had the cache in your hand.
Wait, that doesn't feel like a rock.
Yeah, it's like, hang on a minute. Yeah, so that was nicely done. Whoever placed that one, well done on you. So that's it. I mean, we've had a good one, and thanks for listening to this particular.
6 out of 8.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
Maybe we can improve next time.
Yeah, let's hope so. But you can't improve if they've actually gone missing.
True.
But yeah, guys, by all means, see if you can find these caches. If you find one that the Now We Know show has logged in the logbook, then get in contact with us. Especially Misty May. We want to know who Misty May is.
Yes, so look out for the next episode of the Now We Know Show podcast, Geocaching Trails. If you enjoyed this podcast, please like and subscribe to this channel and comment below anything geocaching related you'd like to listen to in future episodes. Please don't forget to get in contact if you find any of the caches in this episode, because we'd love to know. You can find the Now We Know Show podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Amazon Music and Apple Podcasts. Check out the Zak Wylde Productions social media pages on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, or visit the Zak Wylde Productions website at www.zakwyldeproductions.com. Please get in contact, we'd love to find out how you're listening to us. So get in touch in the comments and don't forget to check out Zak Wylde Productions on Patreon to become an official ZWP patron today.